everybody, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how I created this purpley, pinky, golden glitter cut crease eye makeup look. So if you guys are interested in how I created this look right here, then just keep watching. The first product that I'm going in with is my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. And then I have this little spoolie brush here with an angle. I'm just going to draw my eyebrows on. I have also gone ahead and carved the eyebrows out with a little bit of my concealer. The concealer I'm using at the moment is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 20. This is a really nice dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It's also way more cost effective. ColourPop is a winner if you're not into the Tarte Shape Tape. Moving on to the rest of the face. I'm going to pick up my foundation here. This is the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade Natural Buff N3. The way I like to apply this is just taking this on the back of the hand. It comes out pretty quick, so be careful. And then I'm going to use my ring finger and begin dotting the foundation all over the skin. I've been using this foundation for such a long time now because it's so accessible. I can pretty much find it at any drugstore, you know, Target, Walmart, those kind of superstore areas. It's cost effective and it works. I'm blending my foundation in with the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. I love this brush. I use it in pretty much every single video. The way I would describe this foundation is sheer to medium coverage. I also recently discovered that this foundation has SPF 17 formulated inside the bottle, which is so good. Now I know that when I'm wearing my makeup, I'm being protected from sun exposure, which can result in premature aging and fine lines and wrinkles. So, love that. Now it's time for some concealer. We're going to cover up those dark circles underneath the eye. The product that I want to go in with today is my Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light Beige. I normally go with the shade Light Medium, but I do have a fake tan on right now. You can't really tell because I'm wearing such dark clothing, so it doesn't show up as much. I find that this blends better with my tan, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this underneath the eyes. This is actually a brand new bottle too. This is like my the second time using this. I love having new bottles of this concealer. I run out of it fairly quickly. I have like 5 empty bottles of it sitting on my floor over here next to a bunch of other makeup that I have to go through. But yeah, this is a really good concealer for oily skin. Going in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. I already cleaned it and wet it down and dampened it, squeezed out all that excess water. I'm going to use this to begin blending the concealer into the skin, just pressing it in. It looks so good. Brightens and highlights the face. Adds a lot of attention to the center of the face too, because I am going in with a little bit of a lighter shade in these areas. And then moving on pretty quickly, I do not want to wait too long for this next step because I want to make sure that the concealer doesn't start slipping and sliding or creasing anywhere. I do apply quite a bit of concealer underneath my eyes. I want to go in with my powder. This is the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I love this. It's so soft. It feels so good on the skin. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of that into the cap. Pick up my Morphe M438 brush. I love this for setting my under eyes because it is tapered and it fits under there really nicely. Picking up some of that powder onto the brush, I'm just going to begin tapping and sweeping the powder underneath the eye and on top of the concealer just to lock it in place and make sure that this doesn't move at all throughout the day. I'm also going to take this onto the lid. This is going to help prepare us for our eyeshadows that we're going to go in with in a moment. I also like to take this powder in between the eyebrows, as this is an area where I do make a lot of expression throughout the day, so I just want to lock that foundation in place as well. And I take this on the nose. What's next? Bronzer. Okay, I'm really excited to talk about the bronzer that we're going to be using today. It is the Hoola Caramel, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not going to apply it with the brush that comes inside of here. I want to use one of my own brushes, which would be this one from Eco Tools, I believe. Yes, love their face brushes. So I'm just going to dip this into the Hoola Caramel up top here in swirling circular motions. Slowly as the product begins to leave the brush, I'm going to slowly drag it down towards the center of the face and then down into the jawline. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit. Hold some of that hair back. I have so much baby hairs. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna lightly dust this across the chin and the top lip. I'm gonna do the same thing that we did on this side over here on this side. Also applying this underneath my jawline to create a nice shadow effect. That'll help slim the face as well. I love that. Into the hairline a bit on the top of the head. Bring this down the neck a bit. I don't want to leave the rest of the face out. Just going to do this and then just a tad in the center of the chest as well. I want to bring some shape into the center of the face. I'm going to dip this fluffy brush into the bronzer, dust this along the very top of the nose, and then bring it up into the eyebrow, and then underneath, and then again up into the inner corner of the eye socket. So now that we have the main portion of our bronzer applied, I want to go in with one more bronzer that's a little bit more deeper in tone. Picking up this bronzer by Milani Cosmetics. This is their Baked Bronzer in the shade Golden 06. I'm picking up this bronzer on this little blush brush here. I'm not going in with a brush like the first one that we used to apply our bronzer. As you can see, they're a little bit different in size, and there's a reason for that. I want to target this bronzer in a very specific area of the face to create more depth, but I don't want it to overtake the face and then make my whole entire contour this shade. And do a little bit of like an ombre effect kind of thing here. Starting at the top of the ear, I'm going to bring this bronzer down just to about here, and that's it, and we're going to leave it alone. And I like doing this after I've applied my main portion of the bronzer because I find that this really just adds that depth just in these two little areas here. Sometimes I'll take it underneath my chin too, or underneath my neck, if I want to go for like a super chiseled, super shadow effect look. Next we're going to do a little bit of baking. So going back in with that Too Faced Born This Way powder. This is the translucent option. I'm going to tap some of this back into the cap again. And I'm using my contoured Morphe sponge. Sponge is completely covered with powder. I start from about here, the top of the ear, and then dragging it down like this. Something like this. So you still get to see the jaw from the front angle view. I like it. A little bit of a white beard. Taking the residual powder that's left on the side of the sponge, I'm going to press this into the sides of the nose to slim down and clean up a little bit of that contour on the nose. Moving on to highlighter, I want to lighten and brighten up the face a bit. So the product that I'll be going in with to achieve this effect is this highlighter here. This is called Opal by Becca Cosmetics. They have a lot of really good highlighters, and the champagne pop version is one of the ones that I've bought repeatedly. But I did want to switch it up a little bit this time. By the way, you guys, I'm just spraying my Real Techniques makeup sponge with a little bit of the MAC Fix Plus. This is going to help our highlighter shine super extra bright. I'm just kind of dragging the sponge a little bit, pressing and dragging. Got some of this on the sponge. Okay, I thought my camera was recording, but it definitely was not. So I'm gonna really quickly just talk you guys through what I did off camera. I took that Opal Highlight from Becca Cosmetics. I dipped my Real Techniques beauty sponge into the product, and I pressed it into the high points of the cheekbone, a little bit across the tip of the nose, a little bit into the bridge, as well as around the perimeter of the eyebrows. So we have some nice balance, and then as well as my Cupid's bow. I'm going to take this onto the chin just a little bit so we're really glowing. Not everybody really likes the glow from the chin because it can look greasy if you're not careful. So I'll just be sparing in those areas, and then I want to take this on the collarbones as well. So we're nice and lit up. Next, I'm taking this powder brush here with no product on it whatsoever, and I'm going to use this to dust off our bakage. So now that we have our face pretty much done, I'm going to pick up some more of that MAC Fix Plus. It's this little travel size bottle that I have on hand, and I'm going to spritz my entire face. Lock in all of those powders and those creams. So the palette that I've decided that we're going to use to achieve today's look is this one here. This is the Riviera Palette by Norvina and Anastasia of Beverly Hills. This palette has so many amazing, super fun shades, and so I'm really excited to get to work with this palette. The first shade in the palette that I want to dip into is this one here. Let me not drop this. This one here. She's called Coastline, and I'm going to run this shade through the transition area of the eye just to prepare us for some of the darker shades that we're going to be going in with at a later time. Using circular motions and window wiper motions. Just going to keep applying that transition shade, really warming up the crease. So now that we have our transition shade applied into the crease, I'm going to move on to a little bit of a darker shade here. This one's called Canes. So I'm going to dip into Canes here, starting nice and low and tight in that outer corner. And then as the product begins to leave the bristles, I'm going to slowly drag this color more towards the center of the eye. So now that we have our transition shades applied, I'm really loving how that purple and that pink have diffused together. I'm a huge fan of the formula of this specific eyeshadow palette. However they formulated these colors, I don't know, but they did an amazing job. Really quick, I want to highlight the brow bone, so I'm going to pick up my brow bone highlighting brush, as I like to call it. As you can see, the bristles come up to a point, so this is really nice for targeting right underneath the eyebrow or on the inner corner of the eye if you want to add some light and bright shadow effects. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Dipping back into the palette, I'm going to pick up this white shade here. It is called Sails. Target this just here at the very high point of the brow. This is going to add a lifting effect, and it's also going to clean up any eyeshadow that we may have brought up too high. As you can see, this eyebrow looks more put forward, and then this one is kind of more sunken in. Now the concealer that I want to use today is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. For this specific purpose, for cutting our crease on the eyelid, I'm using shade Light 18. So I'm just tapping some of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to begin stamping my cut crease. So I'm going to start on the center of the lid, going towards the inner corner, and then I'm going to look up. And as you can see, there's a little line of marcation here. I'm just going to follow that exact shape all the way around. Stopping just before the inner corner of the eye. Look up, get your stamp, and then follow. I do have hooded eyes, so the reason why I look up and I aim for that stamp look is because when I'm looking straight ahead, I still want you guys to be able to see the eyeshadow color that we lay down, even when I do go in later with false eyelashes, because I find sometimes as a dramatic false lash wearer slash connoisseur, Lashes can really swallow up your eye makeup look, and before you know it, all you see is lashes, and all of the time that you put into your eyeshadow has basically been worthless because you can't see it. So you can still see your eyeshadow colors with your dramatic, glamorous, luxy lashes. So yes. Next, I'm dipping back into the Riviera palette, and I'm choosing this mustardy shade here. It's called Cabana. Dipping it into that shade, getting the bristles nice and saturated with that pigment. And I'm going to begin pressing this color right on top of our cut crease. Okay, so now for this next step, I want to pick up this product here by the brand MAC Cosmetics. This is their MAC glitter in their little bottles here. I think these are so, so cute. This particular shade is called Gold. Gold. Okay, that works. In its little casing. I don't currently have any glitter glue with me on hand, so instead I'm going to be using some eyelash glue. This is just one of the glues that comes in the eyelash package. The adhesive just comes with the lashes. So what I want to do is use this to help the glitter stick to the eyes. I'm just taking some of this on the back of my hand, like so. This brush, just on the very tip of the brush, and we're going to lightly disperse some of that glue onto the tip of the bristles. Pat, pat, pat that glue very lightly because I don't want to lift any of the eyeshadows that we've already laid down. And then using my pinky finger, I'm going to dip into the glitter and blow off some excess because I don't want this falling all over my black shirt. Tap the glitter. Oh my gosh, you guys see how that sparkles? It's so simple and it looks so, so, so good. Wow. I do have some fallout underneath the eye, as you can see. We're just going to go ahead and lay down some translucent powder. So we're going to go ahead and wipe this powder off in a little bit, but I'm just going to let it sit to catch any fallout and to remove some of the fallout that's already fallen. Just for future reference for you guys, if you decide to do an eye look with glitter like this, it would probably be in your best interest to do your face makeup after your eyes. I didn't take that into consideration before I started filming. You know, it's too late for me, but for you guys, just so that you can, it's a little tip for you guys. We're gonna go back into the eyeshadow for a minute here, and I want to pick up the shade, I think we're going to pick up Coastline again. I'm just going to sweep this shade right underneath the lower lash line. We're going to pick up the purple here. I just want to target this actually just on the outer corner of the eye. So I'm going to smudge it and bring it about halfway. And then stop about here. Picking up this white eyeliner here. This is by NYX Cosmetics. This is their jumbo pencil in the shade Milk. Mine's a little bit dirty. It's hard to keep white pencils white when you have 10 other colors going on the same eye. But I'm going to use this pencil to line the waterline just to open the eyes a bit. Go in with some eyeliner. This is by NYX. This is their Glide On. I feel like I definitely sharpened this label away. It says slide on, glide on, stay on, and definitely a turn on waterproof eyeliner. Really quickly to just line my lash line on the upper portion of the eye. Look at the difference. You can see it's much more dark and it's like more sultry looking. Next, I'm picking up another eyeliner. You can see this is a felt tip liner. When I'm looking straight ahead, even when I have my eyeliner applied, you can still see that gold sparkle shining on the eyelids, and it's not totally being swallowed up. So now that we have our liner applied, we're going to go in with a little bit of mascara. This is the NARS Climax Mascara, my new favorite. I ordered two travel size ones. The first one I got it because I wanted to try it. The second time was actually for my sister, so we have two floating around in the house. And then I ran out of the travel size, so I picked up a full-size version of it, like probably a week ago or so. So now that we have mascara applied on the top lashes, I'm going to give it a minute or two for the formula to dry down a bit. And while we wait, I'm going to dust off some of that translucent powder that we applied to help wipe away any glitter fallout. I'm going to stick on my eyelashes. Okay, lashes are applied. Really quickly, I want to go in with that felt tip liner again and just run over the lash band to cover up any white glue that may still just need to be dried down, but I am impatient, so I'm just going to cover it up with some black. Next things next would be applying mascara onto the lower lash line. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Zoom you guys back out a bit. Okay, eyes are done. Just kidding. I just remembered something. How could I forget my inner corner highlight? Who am I? I'm just picking up some more of that same white color from the Riviera palette called Sales. And I'm just going to place this into the inner corner of the eye. You can just have a little bit of a brightness going on in the inner corners. So now that we're all done with our eye makeup, I think the last step that we have to do is our lips. So starting with lip liner, I'm picking up this one here by NYX Cosmetics. This is in the shade Los Angeles. This has very quickly become my everyday, all day, perfect match of any lipstick that I could ever even think of wearing when it comes to the nude category of lipsticks. I always go to this lip liner and I just love it. I have 3 backups now because I don't ever want to run out of it. Sometimes at Ulta, NYX products go on sale and you can find these for $2.80. So when that happens, I have myself a ball and I stock up and it's a happy day for me. Like so. And then for lipstick, we're going to go in with this one here by MAC Cosmetics. And this is in the shade YASH. It's a really, really yummy nude. And again, this is another one of my go-to nude lipsticks. I love this. Just like that. Do want it to be a little bit glossy today, so I'm picking up my Ultra Glossy Lip Gloss in the shade Snow Day by ColourPop. And I'm just gonna put this in the center. Give it a couple pop, pop, pops. What's the other thing we have to do? Where's my Fix Plus? Where? Where is it? Here you are. So I'm gonna give my Fix Plus a little shake, and we're gonna spritz the whole face. I'm in love with these glitters. I want to start wearing these glitters more often. Thank you, MAC. Love you, MAC. Alrighty, guys. Looks like that's all for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this, my own personal spin off of this purple gold cut crease look. Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh my gosh, are we done? Are we done? That's it? Today went by so fast. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you guys for spending some time with me today, and I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.